That's my Halloween for you. Happy Halloween, everybody. Welcome to the show. Okay, I didn't get dressed up or anything. I got an orange tie on. That kind of goes with the Halloween thing, doesn't it? And I was sitting here going, well, what can I do? Just do the old-fashioned boo. How you doing? All right, welcome to the show, everybody. As always, I'm your host, David Burrows, and happy Monday. Monday, you can trust that day, except maybe on Halloween. You never know. Maybe April Fool's would be another one, too. So, of course, Halloween, if you're watching this live, happening this evening. So keep an extra eye out there, an extra eye out there for the little ones. They don't like to look both ways. They're having fun. They're excited. Mom and dads, be careful. Carry flashlights, all that stuff. If you're looking for some Halloween safety tips, there's a reminder from the Sarnia Police on our Facebook page. You can see the several tips that they offer for safety on Halloween. And if you're watching the replay of this, I hope you were able to enjoy Halloween if you have young ones or whatever it looked like. There was a lot of fun and shenanigans over the weekend for people. That's for sure. Lots of parties going on. We got to kind of a little bit of it there, but we'll talk about that coming up in just a moment. Hey, I just want to say thanks to my supporters and sponsors. Blue Water Power, a group of companies, has now come on as an official sponsor and supporter of the show. Thank you, Blue Water Power. And also our friends Joe's Discount Tire. Got to have them tires. Winter is coming. It's fall. We were at the dollar store the other day, and they've already got the Christmas stuff out. 'Tis the season. But let's get through Halloween first. Then we can start talking about that. And here in Signs, SWO, a part of AG Event Graphics group of companies. Thanks, Guy, for your support for it. Coming up on 11 years. It just kind of snuck up on me there. Where's my calendar? Oh, there it is. So we're like, is it like next week? Yeah. Next week will officially be 11 years of the show. 11 years of the show. Woo. We had a little party last year for 10 years, and it was a lot of fun. We were sort of still in the middle of the pan. Do we do something? I don't know. We'll see. Not any big parties, but we'll talk about it next week, celebrating 11 years. So that's 11 years for AG Event Graphics giving us support here. And 11 years for all of you who may be watching and have been watching. And thanks for being here. Appreciate that. All right, we'll get into more of the 11-year celebration next week. Right now, let's celebrate the Sarnia Sting. Well, they came out the gate really well at the beginning of the season. Then they would have some struggles. They seem to be back on track, at least for now. They would take on the Niagara Ice Dogs in the home of the Sarnia Sting, winning that one 5-4. Talk about a dramatic ending, because I think that was the one they were up like 4-1, and then the Ice Dogs came back to tie things, and we were like, woo, and that one went overtime, right? Whew, thank you very much. But playing hard, the Sarnia Sting are. And then they would welcome the Sudbury Wolves and take that one away, 6-2, the final score in that one. And just a lot of great goals, great hockey from some of the players that we've been expecting to see. And my friend Jay Peckham and I talk about that live from the concourse. We give you the updates in between periods and a pregame show as well. And then the Sarnia Sting headed down to Hamilton to take on the Hamilton Bulldogs. Another strong win there at 3-1. So that's 3 in a row for them right now. We'll be back at the Progressive Auto Sales Arena coming up this Wednesday, and they're taking on the Guelph Storm. Yeah, so let's see if the Sting can keep things rolling, right? Way to go, Sting. And if you want to find out more what's happening with the Sarnia Sting, go to sarniasting.com. And they've got some stuff you can order online. You can do your like your Sarnia Sting, shirts and jerseys and all that sort of stuff. And you can order your 50/50 tickets online there. Everything you want to know about the Sarnia Sting is there at sarniasting.com. Wow. Not only was it fun for the Sarnia Sting doing lots of winning, but the Sarnia Sting did get out and support something local here as well. We'll talk about that now. The Sarnia Street Cruisers had their second annual Trunk or Treat event this year. To make it bigger and better, it was held out at Hiawatha. Thousands, close to 5,000 people, I believe, is the number. I haven't got the exact number, but I heard around 5,000 kids came through there for the Trunk or Treat. And there is kind of a pano shot from the top of the hill. And I got to meet the Mandalorian. He was cool. And Baby Yoda and I were hanging out there. The Sarnia Sting were there. Buzz and Honey there hanging out with the big 60-ton rotator from Preferred Towing was there, and Colin Vandenheuvel there, of course, posing for the shot. And he's tangled in a web there. Thanks to everybody who came out and supported that. There's Chris, the devilish gal that I know. She was there as well. And then I met my friends Superman and Supergirl, or is it Superwoman? I can't remember. But they are super friends anyway, and they were out with their little ones having some fun there as well. So thank you so much to the Sarnia Street Cruisers who came out and put this on, planned it. There was a committee that got together to make sure they didn't run out of candy. And I believe there was like 118 sponsors from my friend Vince told me there was like 118 sponsors that donated money and candy to make this a success. Thousands of candy given out, 90 cars, thanks to the Sarnia Street Cruisers who came in, participated, and brought their own candy to give out as well. And big shout out to Jim Henderson at Hiawatha Horse Park for his support in the parking lot there. And there was the fencing, and there was the Star Wars creature. It was just amazing. Once again, this community come together to make a wonderful evening. And of course, tons of food raised for the Inn of the Good Shepherd. They packed the Inn of the Good Shepherd van. So I know Miles and everyone down at the inn really appreciate that. Way to go, Sarnia Street Cruisers, once again giving back into the community. Well, over the weekend, it got really nice. So we hopped on the motorcycles on Sunday, got together with some friends. We met down at Village Gardens, and then took the long way out to Stonepickers in Forest to see my friend Mark Moran out there playing the tunes, and had some special guests there. And there was a few others from Painkiller Jane that showed up and were singing along. And it was full out there. And I ran into some folks I hadn't seen in a while, and we had some nice chat. If you've never been out there, Stonepickers, they keep the music going. I think they're going to keep going throughout the winter, but I'm not sure. Just go to Stonepickers on Facebook or find them on the internet for their website. They'll have all the details there, and they're super friendly out there, and it's a lot of fun. And it was a nice day, and we enjoyed the music. Mark tried to get me to play the kazoo, and I just happened to be leaving at the time. Sorry, Mark, but it was a lot of fun for being out at Stonepickers. I hadn't been out there in a while, and I was glad that we made the trip. So thanks, Mark, for the great music, and thanks, Stonepickers, for being another local brewery that supports local music and local food around as well. So, all right, what do we got coming up next? I think I covered everything there. All right, let's get into it this week. Very excited to have this lady here, Chrissy McRoberts, who recently was voted in as City County Councillor, and I know she's very excited, and it's quite a story. And well, I'm very, very proud of her achieving this this great goal that she set out to do. And I think we're going to see some great things from her. But let's talk with Chrissy McRoberts right now. Well, I'm excited to have my guest on here today. It's been some time, but for a different reason this time around. Congratulations to Chrissy McRoberts. You are a city and county councillor now. How you feeling?
In a fog.
Yeah.
Happy, euphoric, and ready to just get my feet wet and get into this.
Yeah. Boy, you're crazy. Wouldn't they tell you? Like, what are you doing? You want to be a politician? You want to get in this game? Or did some people try to tell you that?
More than a handful, especially bringing it into the business and having the conversations, and kind of,
right.
I piggybacked off of a campaign page and the business page, but the store is about community, right? And if I'm not sharing what's going on in the community and conversations while we're in the store, then it's not living up to what I tried to build it into.
Yeah, it's really part of your brand that you've done very well at building. And this is a new arena for you, but is it been something that you've been thinking about for some time? And what made you pull the cord and go, okay, I'm doing this thing?
I had never thought about it. I've sat on a couple of subcommittees and boards. And about 15 months ago, Nathan Calhoun friend requested me and said, can we meet for a beer? And I said, sure. So I showed up downtown at the Fool. And he said, have you ever thought about going into politics and running for city council? And I said, oh, I don't think I fit into that, right? Not the form. And he said, do you love Sarnia? And I said, well, I'm probably the biggest, cheerleader you're going to have. And he said, that's all you need. You can learn everything else, but we can't take people that know the rules and make them really authentically love this city. So from that point on, when he said that, I went right into, I got to start learning and meeting people and understanding how everyone in this city is affected by what happens with city council's decisions.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you've had a lot of support. There's a lot of businesses that you're close with as well. You've built some strong relationships. Well, not just with businesses, quite honestly, just with people in general. And I would say that that's probably in your favor, Chrissy, to have those relationships and have those people standing beside you and behind you along this journey that you've taken on. Was it interesting for you to sit and watch the results go along as they did?
Because I really didn't think I was going to get one of the seats. I, out of nowhere, just decided I was going to have this watch party and I would make it a fundraiser because that's just kind of what I do. So it was going to go to River City, and I ordered the last of the food, spending all the money I had, and then made it like a fundraiser where people brought the underwear, socks, and bras, and that it would just be this thing. And when the numbers started to come in and everybody in the room, they were coming and going, new people were arriving and some were leaving to go down to mods, and they're shouting all the places before the online came in. And the first time I heard, you're in 7th place, I said, you know what? Talk amongst yourselves. I'm just going to stand here and make the cold brew coffees and the Italian sodas, and I don't want to hear it until the very end.
Right.
Like, I can't be doing this. It was too emotional.
Yeah.
And finally, when the numbers from the online came in, the whole room just lit up screaming and said, like, holy crap, you're in 1st place. And then, of course, when the seniors' homes kind of came in, that's where Bill Dennis kind of kicked into place and got a couple of hundred more than me. But Bill Dennis and Brian White and myself, we were tight, right? Yeah. There are only maybe 400 or 500 votes between our spacing.
It was close. There was a close race for sure.
Unbelievable.
Yeah. So now you've got your spot, okay, and you're ready to take on whatever you got to take on, the world, I guess. But you're really saying now, change is in the air. Embrace it. What do you mean? What are you changing?
We have to have a council that is going to see outside of their parameter of their standard of life, right? I don't have a lot of money. I'm living and working out of the South End. I'm in contact with the community, so I support the community that supports me. And I fear that maybe we've had a council that has always just seen it from their point of view and experience, and maybe not recognizing or putting out for the people that really do need the assistance and the money to go to programs and looking after the South End, and not necessarily just the South End, but people that do need the help. If you're retired and you have lots of money and your mortgage is paid off, we already know probably what you need and to keep the status quo, but taxes are going up. We have housing issues. The people that really need our help aren't getting it because there's no person in between that's actually speaking to them and getting their point of view and then understanding this is life or death. We have people that are homeless.
Yes.
So us discussing what the next couple of $1,000s will be for the waterfront, that has to be looked after too. But this is a priority, and we need the whole city to understand we're making the priorities the real priorities.
So you're going to, a great explanation, by the way, you're going to come into, though, as any council does, there are going to be debates, and there's going to be personalities that don't like each other or don't agree upon, which, you know, we shouldn't always agree. I think how we disagree is a little bit different. But how will you deal with that in your position when you come across, an opposition or another councillor that you're really strongly opposed on each other?
I believe there are friendships and then there are relationships. I'm not coming in to make friendships, but if I do, that's great. But we have to build relationships, and whether I like you or you like me, that has nothing to do with it. We have got to find the space where we are just looking at what's best for the city, for this money to be spent. And that, in a nutshell, is it. And it does not matter if you like me voting against something that you think is worth $1 million. That's worthy of a conversation before we even get to the vote. We have to educate each other on what our perspective is. And I think sometimes we just wait, we get there and throw her out into the pit and see what happens. And we have to do so much more research. You can't have 5 days in between, when the city's actually open and you can reference to the staff and get your information and make, $100,000 decision and a vote in 5 days. That's not always possible. So starting with our communication and then breaking off and saying who's got the backgrounds to deal best with this, and meeting the people and meeting the authorities and the people that have the degrees. And then when we have enough information, we come right back and do it. And it doesn't matter if you like me or not. We have to make the best decisions.
Right. Now, you talked about taxes. Like prices go up. They don't really go down. Like the cost of living doesn't go down. I know that's a struggle, not just in our community, but many communities. But here, how do you balance between the fact that we're a border town city, we're travel and tourism type city, right? Or as compared to the other issues like housing, like you said, how do you balance between the two? Are the two not both equally important, or is one more? Like, how do you figure that out?
So as far as traveling the border, is that what you're asking?
Well, I mean, like having attractions here, our tourism, like we have beautiful waters here. We have a lot of parks. We have a lot of attractions, music festivals, etc. So between, the travel side of things and the money that we put into that compared to the other things like housing, etc. How do you balance between the two, and which one gets priority?
Well, obviously the housing is going to be a little more of right, food and shelter and health. So if we can't get those three aligned, it doesn't mean everything else is going to just sit and wait. There's just priorities, maybe saying a little bit of money goes towards this while the rest of it's going to kind of hammer this out until we can catch up. But we need to reach out to other cities that have had success in handling these situations, instead of just always assuming it's only Sarnia. Sarnia is not the only one that's suffering from the drug issues and the mental health. We're not. It's all across Canada. So we need to daily be listening to podcasts and watching the news and surfing to see who's had success, and then reach out to them and say, how are you doing this? I mean, what can we do? But if I can come back and touch on the tourism, my point of view is we can't just point a finger at Sarnia Lambton Tourism and say, what are you doing? Like, you're not doing enough for us. They have brand new advertisements that are coming out. I just went to their AGM. I'm really looking forward to seeing those posted and really getting some traction. But as a business owner, we all need to come together in Sarnia and Lambton County and say, let's come up with packages of our own as suggestions that we're willing to say, how about we have a retreat, a couples retreat that comes in, maybe even from Detroit, and they come across on a bus. Their first stop is to come to my gift store and they shop here. Then they can drive out to Petrolia and see one of the performances at the theater. Then they can stop at a brewery out there and then match it with the winery back to back. And then when they're coming back for dinner somewhere and the bus goes to their hotel to drop them at the end of the day, all the places that they've been, so the winery, the brewery, my store, whatever they purchased, and I tagged their name on it, we deliver all of those things. So when they get to their room and open the door, here are all the goodies that they purchased. And we've got nice little notes saying, we appreciate your business on behalf of Sarnia Lambton. We hope you come back. And here's a little, maybe a quick review. Let us know what you think. Scan the QR code and let us know what you thought. And those are the reviews we put up. And then just say to Sarnia Lambton Tourism, run with it. Now we've got like 10 packages that maybe some are for people that are coming for some kind of conference, and then couples, or a retreat that's a religious retreat and include some of our churches to kind of do a back and forth thing where they could go there and they can come to our city. but we need to fuel the fire, right? We can't just sit here and always point and say, well, it's that group's fault or their responsibility.
Right. Why didn't they do this? Why didn't they do that? Right.
It's like picking your own neighbor.
Nobody's there to run your business.
And I'd rather have 500,000 people in one summer coming here as tourists than us businesses fighting over 72,000 people in competition for their business. That we have to let that go. I'm not in competition with anybody. They shouldn't be. Right. We need to reach out.
So would you, I guess, to famously, similarly quote, JFK, for example, ask not what you can do, for
your county.
Yeah. Ask not what your county can do for you, but what you can do for your county, right?
That should be our new logo there. Well, that's it. Nice job, David. You did it.
No, that wasn't mine. I was just being a copycat and twisted it a little.
No, but I like the county. That's you, county.
So, yeah, I mean, what can we do, right? So now you've got a lot to learn. I know they take all the counselors and they send them to a program. I forget what it's called, and you get trained on some things. I hope you're used to reading because you're probably going to be doing a lot more reading. I've seen some of the reports, right? Are you prepared for that? Like, are you a reader? Are you used to that?
I'm a reader. I'm a reader, a highlighter. I appreciate reading through it. I read and speak into my recorder so that I can listen to it again as if it were a podcast coming back at me with the highlights. Brian White has been amazing as far as suggestions of what I can do and things that are just going to help me get into my routine and my groove quicker than, flailing for a while. I don't have time for that. I've got a staff member that's come in now that's going to help me out at the store so then we can give me some more time to do what I have to do to get out there, because this is not just a read and show up at the meetings and then come home. This is about going out and talking to more people and being accessible.
Well, thanks for saying that, because you kind of led me into my next question. Thought is how accessible do you think you'll? I know you want to be accessible as much as you can, but will you be able to do that? Like, you've already got a busy, hectic schedule. I'm guessing you're going to have to readjust some things now to make that possible.
I do have an email. Everybody has an email. I'm sure that's going to switch. I'm positive that the city IT crew will assign emails.
Yes.
That everyone's supposed to have. So that can always be utilized. Unfortunately, my phone number is the store number. So calling me during work hours, if I'm on duty, it's tough to do. Some people have already been coming into the store, and as long as you're shopping and you want to keep up a conversation, that I can handle. But having a lineup of people that just want to talk politics, that's probably not the best place to do. Not
your political office.
But every Sunday, and I've been doing it for business women, I call it Coffee with Chrissy, and it's Sunday 9 till 1 at Blackwater Coffee downtown. And I sit at a table and I just wait for people to approach, or if they walk by and kind of look like they want to talk, I invite them in. We can talk about anything. And that's the place to do it. Plus, it brings Blackwater a little bit of business, and we can just talk. And it's about community and having that conversation out loud with other people joining in. And confrontation doesn't mean arguing. I mean, if you don't like my style, come talk to me about it. But the term trolling on somebody's Facebook, if you really have something genuine to confront me about, come confront me and let's have a conversation about it and actually get a resolution, as opposed to what the past has been.
Let's have a conversation, right? I mean, let's have an adult conversation and discuss it and hum and haw and I don't agree with it, whatever. But it's a conversation, and that's where great results come from. Is it starts with a conversation. So
it's about respect, right? I respect you for approaching. You respect me responding. But if I've done something that offended you, you get to tell me, and then I have a choice of apologizing, owning it, and saying, "But sorry, that's the way I am." Or saying, you know what, too bad. And that's the way it's always going to be, because I feel like I'm grounded in how I responded. Right. But you got to give me that shot so I can at least have that respect that I can always go to you because I know you're going to say it like it is, and that I can.
Well, kudos to
appreciate.
You, because it's an arena that, like, if you got a huge target on you now, and people are going to throw darts and spears or whatever. So, but I'm sure you'll handle it well. And you've got some experience around you, people you've leaned on, like you mentioned, Brian White in there. What's the thing that scares you the most about this, if there is one?
Maybe not accomplishing everything that I want to get done. I understand it's politics and it's not going to be overnight. More concerned about getting things going forward than worrying about fixing the things that have happened. That's none of my business. Whatever happened with the other councils, that's on them. Going forward and saying this council cannot just represent certain groups of people in town. It has to represent everyone. So as far as county and city, I've got way more acreage to cover. Seeing people, talking to people, and building strong relationships. Yeah. They, again, don't have to like me, but I need to know that these people, if they want some information from me, they would never hesitate to pick up the phone or email me and say, I need to have a coffee with you. We got to deal with this. And I want them to do that, knowing that I will soak in any information. And if I don't have the answers, I'm going to be upfront about that and then go find the people that do have the answers.
Well, I think you're going to do very well. I gave you my support. I have no problem saying that. And I didn't even hesitate. And I know you've got a lot of supporters behind you. Obviously, like, you came in second up there. And that's pretty cool.
I still can't. I just sat there. And when everybody left, I'm not swearing, but I just kind of sat after everyone left my building that night and went, did I just do?
Yeah, right.
Like, I just wanted to make a point and get everybody to understand that it has to be different. And then next thing you know, it's like, plan A plus.
Careful what you wish for. You got it now, but you're going to be okay, Chrissy. I believe that, and so do many others. And I'm looking forward to seeing what you accomplish, because I believe you're going to accomplish a lot of great things for our city and our county. So I thank you so much for your time here today. I wish I had more time, but before I go, I always like to give my guests one final thing. Is there anything you want to add into our conversation about?
Thank you very much for this opportunity. And thank you to all of the city the 40% that stepped up and voted and did something about this. And keep in mind, anybody that wants to contact me, the first thing that I'm going to ask is, hey, did you vote? Doesn't matter if it was for me. If you're the 60% that did not vote, you need to think about that, because if you're coming to me to complain, you had an opportunity to have something done about that.
You know what,
here
Christy, we are. You say it like it is, right? And I like that about you. And I don't always agree with everything you say or do either. I'll be honest with you, but I'm okay with that, because I know your heart's in it and what you're doing, and you're just straight, and you're like, let's just cut through it and get to it, right?
Yep. I don't like the politics of things.
Well, look out, boy. I'll tell you. All right. Well, thank you so much. Chrissy McRoberts, one of your new city county councillors here. Congratulations once again, Chrissy. Enjoy the rest of your day.
Thank you, David. Have a great day, everyone.
All right, Chrissy, once again, congratulations on being newly elected to city county councillor position. And I expect great things from you, which I know you're setting the bar high. And I think you're going to accomplish a lot of great things for the city and the county. Congratulations once again. And if you want to reach out to Chrissy, she's not hard to find on Facebook. And I'm sure she'll be putting out her email and best ways to contact her in the future. Thanks again, Chrissy. And thanks to all of you for watching. I really do appreciate you. Listen, it's important that you click the share button. If I could ask you to just do one favor for me, a free way for you to support the show and those that are on it. It's really about them and spreading the word, their message. That's why I have people here on the show. So click the share button to spread the message around and help those that are on the show get their message heard as well. And thanks to all of you for coming back loyally every week for 11 years. Next week, the 11th year of the show. But that's all the time I got for you this week. Have a great week and an even better weekend. And I will see you next time right here on the show. Bye-bye for now.